This is the video for the second exercise, 8.2, and I've made all the buffers that the assignment has called for, and I'm ready to actually do the clipping of certain areas within those buffers based on the criteria established by the book. So at this point, I have slope in the background. I've turned it off. Okay, so we don't need that on. I have districts in the background. I don't really need districts. I'm going to turn that off. I've calculated a road access buffer. I've also calculated a market access buffer. I did a roads access intersect. And then I have a road market access feature that I made. And then an urban hazard and a UXO hazard buffer. So it's basically all the things that were called for in the book. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify just the visual presentation here. So I'm going to get rid of roads. We don't need to see roads. I'm going to get rid of the original UXO sites. I don't need to see those per se. And really what I want to see is I want to see my road market access feature, which is this guy. We're going to clip out of this larger feature. So let's make him kind of a darker gray color. And the outline color, I'm not going to have anything. So we want to see, when we're done with this whole process, we want to see some more holes in this dark gray area where we have UXO hazard and we also have the urban hazard sitting on top. Okay, so we're going to have a result that will be less than what we currently have in road market access. Now what I've done is I've processed this MXD, or the features that are within the MXD. Let me show you where I've been putting everything. So if I go to Art Catalog, I made a folder for myself within my Chapter 8 data. And let me show you that folder. You may want to organize your project this way also. So within this folder here, I have an exports folder that I've made. Okay? And within exports, that's where I sent all my shapefiles as I made my buffers, my dissolves, and my intersects. So I always know that for whatever reason, if I get a crash or something like that, that's where all my work's located. I would suggest you also make an exports folder that's close to your other data. Okay, so to get started on this, let's go ahead and use as the book suggests. There's a couple ways we could do this. We could simply do a traditional clipping. They want us to be in the Editor Toolbar, and I want to show you where that is and what that's all about. So if I go up to Customize and go to Toolbars and go down to Editor, I'm going to click on Editor. And we have to make it active. So we click on the editor and we say Start Editing. And it's going to immediately ask us which feature on the map or in your table of contents do you really want to edit. So in this case, we want to be editing our dark gray buffer that we've created for road market access. That's all what's considered to be good spaces at this point. So it's close to a road, so it allows access, and it's also close to markets. But in a second, we're also going to make sure that it's not close to certain populated locations and certain UXO hazards. So we gotta do some clipping here. So the first thing we're going to clip with the UXO hazard. So let me make this active first. So this is road market access. I'm going to make him active first and say OK. And if I go to Editor now, I can go down to, well, what? How come it's not active? It just takes a second here to make it active, I believe. I'm going to go back and make sure I got the right feature. 1 second here. Okay, if I go back to Editor, I'm just going to stop editing real quickly, and I want to show you what you may run into as an issue that easily is solved. So if I go to Start Editing, I'm going to go ahead and click on Road Market Access and make that active. You'll notice as soon as you do another drop down, you'll be looking for clip here to be active. It's not going to be active until you actually click on a feature that's going to be a clipping feature. So in this case, I need to do 2, but the first one I'm going to do is going to be the UXO hazard. So I click on that, and as soon as that's active, then I can go back over to my editor toolbar, and now I'm going to see clipping is active. So if I clip it now, the book wants me to discard areas that intersect, which makes sense. I'm not going to have a buffer distance because we've already established a buffer distance, and I'll go ahead and say OK. And we can just click on the feature, and we want to make sure that there's an empty space now underneath the UXO hazards. So that's great, that worked. Now I'm going to clear my selected feature, and now what I need to do is go in and do my urban hazards. Okay, for my populated places. So if I put my populated places on top, and we made a little buffer there, I think it was 5 kilometers. Now we're going to go ahead and clip out the blue from the dark gray. So right now we can see it's unclipped. So let's go to Editor. We can see it's grayed out here. Now I'm going to click on my urban hazard features, so they're active right now. Now I'm going to go to Editor, and now clipping is active. I say clip, buffer distance nothing, discard the area that intersects, and I say OK. And then I'm going to just turn off urban hazard, and I can see I'm empty. So that's exactly what we want. Once we do those two, we're basically done with this clipping step, and we can go to Editor and we can say Save Edits and then Stop Editing. Okay, so we've done everything that we've needed to do. We basically have our feature that we want, which is road market access. This is all the good areas minus the bad things. So we'll go ahead and use this now as part of the next step in Roster Calculator.